play continues tonight from Coors Field. The Rockies and the Tampa Bay Rays. Rockies looking to bounce back after falling 7-4 in 10 innings last night. And welcome upstairs on an overcast Saturday night with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Glad as always that you're along with us. Tough night last night for the Rockies. They had opportunities but finished 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So you turn the page, move on to tonight. But one more quick flashback on last night. Two young players in the middle of things offensively. Josh Rutledge and the kid who's got about 4 days in the big leagues, Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, boy, weren't they ever. And Rutledge last night took the ball deep to right center field. That's starting to tell me he's seen the ball get a little bit deeper back into his stance and driving the baseball. That's over in Los Angeles with the base hit to right. Drove in. You can see what he's done his last 3 ball games. Things starting to pick up. 6 for 13, a couple of RBIs, and you say, well, I want more RBIs. Well, typically where he's been hitting in the lineup, not a lot of guys on in front of him. They've all been cleared off in the bases. Arenado, and a nice job this young man's come up, not only with his bat, but also what he has done at third base, collecting the baseball. And last night, 2 really good at bats. Got a fastball in, jerked it down the left field line, got a ball out over the plate and down. Very good low ball hitter, drove this ball, then a base hit to right field later in the ball game. Nolan has came to the big leagues and has done a job of what everybody thought he could do. Don't expect him 3 for 5 every single night, but he's going to give you a very competitive at bat, and he's going to drive in some runs.
Think of the spray chart we just showed you on his hits last night and really flash back to his first week in the big leagues. He uses the whole field. The home run in L.A., center field, gap to gap with the doubles. He took a base hit the other way to right field last night. A very, very impressive young hitter. When we return, we'll talk about the pitching matchup tonight. John Garland will be opposed by last year's Cy Young Award winner, Mr. David Price. The National League West with company right now, and the Tampa Bay Rays are 13-15. That, of course, is John Garland. His strategy is to get the at-bat over very quickly. He's opposed tonight by David Price, who will create ground balls of his own, but when he's on, he can be one of the most dominant pitchers in the game.
Well, 93 to 97 miles an hour with very powerful breaking stuff, and I think he struggled a little bit early because he didn't have a feel for the breaking ball. Now his last two starts have gotten much better than what they were in the past. And again, with John Garland, he's looking for balls down on the ground. Both these guys averages around the 290, 295 range. But David Price, when he is right, it's the angles. He's a big kid, 6'7". He's going to throw in a downward angle with a lot of velocity and a lot of movement on his fastball. He's not scared to come at you with a breaking ball, but he primarily will come at you with the fastball, and he'll do it religiously. Garland, on the flip side of that, he's right now averages 13.5 pitches per inning, 5th in the National League right now. That's what he wants. He wants ground ball outs, quick innings, early innings, get his offense back into the dugout any way that he can. What I like about John Garland, he really minimizes damage. First and third, I'll give up one. I'm not giving up a bunch. I'm not going to have a crooked number thrown on the board, and it's all due to the effectiveness of the ground ball.
He gets a lot of ground balls when he's on. That is a good thing, especially in this ballpark. We are ready to go. It's Garland and Price. It's the Rockies and Rays. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Boy, those guys inside the
Look at
truck.
Trout, move faster. Come on, you can do faster now. I'm telling you, you can be better than that. All right, sit down and do it. Quit standing up. Sit down.
Yeah, the amazing thing is Mike Fox on the left, our producer, he still looks like he's moving in slow motion. John Garland, the 6'6" right-hander, making his way to the Coors Field mound on a Saturday night. It is Derby Day. George, you have the winner today?
No.
Again?
No.
Well, you've kept the streak intact. That man's Desmond Jennings. He had a home run last night. In fact, his 2-run home run against Jeff Francis gave the Rays a 4-3 lead. It was a temporary lead in the 5th inning because the Rockies would get a run back on an Arenado double to tie it up, and that's where it stood till the 10th inning when Tampa Bay was able to rally against Matt Belisle and win ball game 7-4. Here's the Southwest batting order tonight for the Rays. Jennings will be followed by Matt Joyce. He plays against all right-handers, Zobrist and Longoria, and then James Lohan. He's been a Rocky killer, particularly at Coors Field through the years when he was with the Dodgers. Kelly Johnson, Yunel Escobar, Jose Molina, the 37-year-old brother of Benji, who's now retired, and Yadier, who is a perennial all-star with the St. Louis Cardinals. So John Garland at 2-2, looking for win number 3 on the season.
And it's a good day to pitch for John Garland. You know why? Do you know why? It's his mother's birthday. That's why. Happy birthday, Vicky Garland. I just threw that out there for the night. You're going to go out on the mound tonight. 2-2 record with an earned run average in the mid-4s. First 3 starts, outstanding. 332. The last 2 has scuffled a little bit. We talked about the ground ball outs. He has averaged nearly 58% ground ball outs in his career, which is one of the top 5 among active pitchers today.
Let's take a look at our Excel Energy starting defensive unit for the Colorado Rockies. Eric Young for Dexter Fowler. Dexter said the hip flexor feeling much better today. Not in the lineup, though. Cargo and Kadire flank EY. Arenado, Tulowitzki, Rutledge, and Pacheco, along with Rosario behind the plate. And there's Dex with the cap on and available tonight if the Rockies need him later on. So here we go. John Garland facing off against Desmond Jennings, and the first pitch is lined to center field for a base hit.
Well, John Garland with 11 career starts against the Rays. 5-2, 327 earned run average. We mentioned about the fastball. He'll utilize that, the hard sinker, slider / cutter. He starts to use a little bit more with the depth to it. Occasional changeup, a curveball against left-handers. But the old reliable, sinking fastball is the #1 usage.
Well, Jennings is a perennial 30-plus type base stealer. Last year he had 31 bags, was caught only twice. This year he's been caught 3 times already. He's 5 for 8. And swung on and missed. So the game plan, not surprisingly, George, for Tampa is be aggressive early because Garland's going to be in the strike zone.
Well, he doesn't walk people. He's going to make you beat him by putting the ball in play. That's the game plan going out. And that's why I think a lot of times that, you know, when he goes out onto the hill, guys are aggressive early in swings, as we just witnessed with Joyce.
By the way, if you had orb today at Churchill Downs in the mud, then you can rejoice.
That's for all the ghost hunters. An orb flies through the air and you see it. Never mind. It's on Sci-Fi.
He's lost me once again. Not the first time.
Yeah, I understand. Haunted hotels, you got to be able to stay in them. See, there's the slow breaking ball that he'll drop against left-handers. That and a changeup. He'll use both of those pitches to come in off of his sinker at 87, 88. He'll range that into the 78 to 80 range.
Set up away with 2 strikes on Joyce. Nice job holding it there by Willeen Rosario for the young umpire Clint Fagan. Running count with Desmond Jennings at first. Just underway at Coors Field. Bruce Dreckman at first, Gary Darling, the crew chiefs at second, Paul Emmel at third. Rutledge and Tulowitzki set for 2. No movement, and this one is hooked foul. Joyce is one of those platoon outfielders, and he's been that way in his career. He really swings the bat well against right-handed pitching, but left on left in his career, he's beneath 200, a 194 lifetime hitter against lefties. Rockies begin play today at 17-12, as we mentioned off the top. The Giants won late last night, so they are at 17-12 as well, sharing the top spot in the National League West. Arizona 2 back, Dodgers 3.5 back, San Diego 5 back. Giants have won 4 straight, while Arizona has lost 4 in a row. Tampa is 6.5 back in the American League East. Boston, with the best record in baseball, they're 20-9. And the Yankees 17-11. They're coming in next week. And then Baltimore at 17-13. That's off the plate. Toronto, George, a couple of teams that were the busiest in the offseason. Toronto, the Angels again, and both of those clubs off to miserable starts. Toronto lost again today, so they're 10-21.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't their manager John Farrell who went to Boston, and all of a sudden they're in first place.
And that's off the plate. 3-2.
Yeah, you wonder too, because those are so close, but they're running fastballs, and they are off the plate according to the fourth strike zone. And so, you know, you're thinking as a pitcher, I'm going to take it to the corner, and you're hoping that you get an aggressive hitter to roll over on that and get you a double play ball. So far, he's done a good job laying off to run to count 3-2.
See if Jennings takes off here. There he goes. And this is in the air and playable center field. EY and Kadire, and it'll be EY. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6. Get your Rockies taco special. That'll bring up Ben Zobrist. This may be, George, the kid at the plate, one of the most underrated players in baseball. And I mean, he is probably at the top of the list, and I'll give you evidence of that.
I just ended up trying to think of other players like him that can go to the corner outfield, can play second. He's all over the field.
And he hits for power. He can hit for average. Hit him in a multitude of spots in your order. He runs well. Since 2009, here's your evidence of that. There's a sabermetric stat called WAR, wins above replacement. So you take your average player and replace. What's Ben Zobrist worth versus just your average player you'd replace him with, kind of a journeyman type player, if you will. And since 2009, that 3+ year span or 4+ year span, according to all the metrics they put in, he is worth 28.5 games more than just the journeyman type player.
That's huge.
Well, number 2 on the list is Ryan Braun. Number 3, Robbie Cano. Number 4, Albert Pujols. Does that give you an idea?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody would pick Ben Zobrist on that list, right?
And you start to even dissect a few more numbers, Drew. And now he's going to pop this ball up to EY in center field. Here, Cargo will come on and take it. It's going to be EY. He's hit .435, leading their team with runners in scoring position this year.
So it's a big out there, but you're not out of the woods in that here comes Evan Longoria. Rockies did a good job in regulation time, if you will, against Longoria last night. And then he had the big RBI single in the 10th. And then Kelly Johnson with the 2-run home run for padding in the 10th inning.
Another impressive number handed to me by Doug. This on Zobrist again, and 107 at bats. He's yet to hit into a double play ball.
He's just really good, but he plays down in Tampa, and of course in the AL East they play second fiddle to the Yankees and the Red Sox
and the Orioles a year ago.
And the Orioles a year ago. 1-0 on Longoria with 2 outs. Snap throw to first. Ooh. That was bang, bang. Pacheco applying the tag on Desmond Jennings. Great throw from Rosario.
Yeah, and we're going to look at this one more time. Big lead by Jennings. Snap throw right on the money. See if the hand got back in. Well, it did. I mean, it's a good call by Drek. Tag applied right on the elbow. And the hand, I mean, just a split second got in there.
1-1 to Longoria. It's down 2-1.
Now you can see it did get back in, but at the naked eye, you're thinking bang, bang.
Garland trying to freeze Jennings. Outside, 3-1. Still marvel at the left side of that diamond we talked about at Long Beach State back in '05 with Longoria and Tulowitzki. Was that any good?
Yeah, think about it. There's a few other guys on that ball club too, and Doug's going to look up the names of those.
Look at it. John got down. Fortunately, Jennings going to go first to third.
Just at 6'6", even though he's bent down a little bit, whistled right by the head of Garland up to center field by Longoria on a fastball out over the plate. Shot it right by Rutledge into center, and then Jennings with his speed is going to make EY Pike the perfect throw and able to get into third base.
And now James Loney, who fell out of favor in Los Angeles, quite honestly, George, because he didn't hit the long ball. He's, his good sized first baseman. You want your corners to hit for power. James Loney's a good hitter, but he's a singles doubles guy.
Well, when they got Gonzalez in LA, that was adios.
Right.
For him, he wasn't going to be around anymore. But he is a guy, and for their ballpark, which doesn't relinquish a lot of home runs, I think a gap hitter's a pretty good guy to have on your ball club. By the way, you're talking about Long Beach State, talking about Longoria, Tulowitzki, Cesar Ramos, who is on this Rays team, Jared Hughes, Marco Estrada, all in the big leagues.
See what Loney's done of late after a slow start. 489. You kidding me? Over the last 15. Line drive. Blocked by Tulowitzki. We talk about spray charts, advanced scouting, Chris Warren's department. That all pays off by defensive alignment. And Tulowitzki in the right spot. Price, Eric Young Jr. will lead things off with a .291 batting average. He'll be hit from the right side against the lefty Price. Southwest batting order, Josh Rutledge. He's been swinging the bat exceptionally well. He'll be followed by Carlos Gonzalez. And then it'll be Tulowitzki back in the lineup. Michael Kadire, Willeen Rosario, Nolan Arenado, Jordan Pacheco, and John Garland. David Price comes in with a 1-2 record and an un-David Price-like ERA of 5.21. This is his 7th start, Frazier.
It is his 7th start, but you look at the winning percentage among active pitchers at the major league level. Roy Halladay has at 66%, Jared Weaver, Hudson, Verlander, and Price. Price beat Verlander last year for the Cy Young Award when he went 20-5. So it's there. It's just a matter of being able to handle the situation and get back on track, which they say, visiting with Joe Madden today, his manager, that they felt like the last 2 ball games he got back on track. You think about this. In his career, the opposition has hit .247 with runners in scoring position. This year, they've hit .308, 51 points higher.
Back up the middle, on through, base hit, Eric Young Jr. Tell you a quick story about EY. One of the things about this game, and if you followed it, you know it to be true. You can be a hero 1 minute and feel low as a worm the next minute. It's a tough game. It's a brutal game. And EY last night, and he's had a very good start. Last night, 3 ABs, 3 punch outs, and a couple times with traffic on. Sat in front of his locker, actually stood in front of his locker last night, said, you know what, just wasn't my night. Tonight, starts it out with a base hit up the middle and gives the Rockies a chance to have a little early offense. Yeah, that's the game of baseball.
Well, it is. 162 game schedule, and if you play in 100, 130 of those, you're going to have a lot of nights you're standing in that locker staring, what could I have done better?
Here's a bunt by Rutledge in no man's land. They're not going to get anybody. Great idea, great execution, Josh Rutledge. First and second, nobody out. Welcome to Coors Field, David Price.
Well, that's the best way to do it. Speed, and Rutledge is a flyer, so he can run also. Now you're looking where everybody's positioned here, and with your second baseman so far up here in the middle, there's no chance for him to clear. You want to get it by Price right here hard, which he does. Price falls off to the third base side, no coverage, base hit.
It's just a smart play. It's a smart play with brilliant execution.
And what it amounts to, you just took what they gave you. That's the key to it. You had recognized what it is. He's falling off third base side. Zobrist's playing up the middle. Just take what they're going to give him.
And now Cargo. He's never faced David Price. Outside ball one. And there's no downside as long as he gets the ball in fair territory down on the ground, because even if they get the out, it's not going to come on Eric Young, so it would be a sacrifice, and you have 2 shots to drive EY in with your 3-4 hitters.
Win-win situation.
One out. And Cargo, you don't see him do that much. He's rarely tentative. If he's going to fire, he normally fires. Here's what the Rockies have to turn around from last night. They were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position last night and struck out 5 of those times.
Gonzalez on the year, 269 with runners in scoring position. That will change, trust me.
Fastball at 93 away, 2-1. Cargo against left-handed pitching has done very well, hitting .405, which is 4th best in the National League. All those other guys, right-handed bats. And a delayed strike call by Clint Fagan. Thought about it. 2-2.
Well, let's take a look at the fourth strike zone and this pitch out of the hand of David Price. I can see why they felt that was a ball. It cut off of the plate.
That's a big strike call. Instead of 2-2, excuse me, instead of 3-1, it's now 2-2.
Opens the door up for a breaking ball.
Price's second career start against the Rockies at Coors Field. He lost the only other time here, June 17th of 2009, gave up 5 runs in 7 innings. The Rockies had 10 hits against him. 3-2 on Cargo, nobody out, first and second.
Stayed away from the power completely, but he elevated this fastball. You could see Molina set up almost 1920 style catching target for David Price, and he hit it perfectly. There's what he likes to throw an awful lot, folks. Nearly 58% fastballs, curveball, slider, or cutter, and a changeup. Average fastball 93.5. He averages, one of the hardest throwing left-handers in the American League.
Well, last year he was the hardest throwing pitcher in baseball. He averaged 95.5 last year. So he's a couple clicks down so far this year. Not that 93.5 miles an hour is anything to be embarrassed about. A shot that goes off of James Loney. Here comes EY. He'll score the Rockies' first run. Rutledge all the way to third. Troy Tulowitzki blistered that the other way.
367 average with runners in scoring position, so that's going to climb 12 for 31 now for Troy Tulowitzki. That's why Joe Madden walked him to load the bases. You're not going to beat me late in games. Elevated pitch, a changeup, up and away from Tulowitzki on a Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You see how well he stays right on this. One hop shot right at James Loney into the outfield, and it's 1-0 with just one out.
Troy third in the National League in RBIs. John Buck, Brandon Phillips, and then Tulowitzki, and then Tulo's good friend Ryan Braun. And the Giants' Kung Fu Panda. Here's Michael Kadire. He's not far off that list. He has 22 ribbies, hitting .317. First and third, one out.
Going back to look at this pitch to Tulowitzki, everything had been fastball's first pitch. This, a circle change. You can really see it on Mike Shaw Subaru. You could see that hand and the flight of the baseball, but he just didn't get out front and finish it well above the belt and adjusted to by Tulowitzki, and damage done.
Now, Kadire last night facing Matt Moore in the first inning hit a 2-run jack to dead center field. Rockies swung the bat against Matt Moore better than anybody this year by a ton. They got 7 hits against Matt Moore. He'd given up 13 in his first 5 starts. That's a strike. Now Kadire will have to battle here 1 and 2. RBI at third in Rutledge. Tulowitzki at first. Rockies got 4 runs in 5 innings against Moore. Willian Rosario's on deck. Got him.
And I don't blame Kadire. You know what? You can give him one side of the plate, but don't give him both. And he made his point to Clint Fagan at home plate. Clint Fagan took exactly what he was saying. And that ball is off the plate. It is a ball. It's not a strike, and you're in a crucial situation. That's the last thing you want as a hitter. That was a bad call.
That's a couple balls outside the strike zone here in the first inning that were called strikes. Remember the 2-1 pitch to Cargo that would have taken the count to 3-1. So Rosario will try to pick up the runner at third with 2 outs. This year Price has allowed the opposition to hit .367 with 2 outs, and this is a pop fly to shallow right. Some miscommunication. Jennings finally takes it. In the inning, the Rockies get a run on 3 hits to take an early lead against David Price. Rockies fans, we want to answer your questions. We do it in the fifth inning during Toyota Talk. Text your question to 720-720. First-time texters, automatic winners. We'll give you a free pass to the Denver Zoo, courtesy of your neighborhood Toyota stores, who invite you to visit the amazing animals at the Toyota Elephant Passage. Troy Tulowitzki back in the lineup tonight. Pinch hit last night, intentionally walked with runners at first and third, which is something that Joe Maddon has done quite a bit. Last few years he's done it 19 times, more than any manager in baseball, where he's actually forced, when first base is occupied, still put a guy on. Tula with an RBI base hit, and the first pitch of inning number 2, strike 1 on Kelly Johnson from John Garland. He's 3 for 16 lifetime against Garland. And this ball is in the air to left field, fairly well hit. Cargo will get over there and make the catch.
I want to remind everybody, next week the Yankees will come to town Tuesday through Thursday. So make sure you go out and get your tickets to see the Rockies take on the New York Yankees. Time's running out, but there is some good seats left. 303 Rockies or Rockies.com for tickets for the Yankee series.
Yunel Escobar is 2 for 7 lifetime against Garland, has a home run against him. That's on the corner. You know, with the expanded strike zone that Clint Fagan displayed for David Price, you don't want it to be, you know, a starstruck strike zone. You want the same thing on the other side naturally. It's not like John Garland is, you know, some rookie making his second appearance in the big leagues.
Well, and you point to that at bat by Joyce in the first inning when he just nibbled off the side of the plate.
1-2. And that is line foul. When you see a ball that is either hooked or driven the opposite way with tail on it, all you need to do is, if you're at the ballpark, watch the hitter, because they'll tell you if it's going to be fair or foul. They don't run very hard. They know that it's not staying fair. Here's the 1-2.
You got a 1-0 lead. The last thing I want to do is try to plunk somebody, so it's not done on purpose. It's a fastball. It just ran away from God Escobar. Watch on this Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You start to make that commitment, and it catches you square. And a lot of times you get hit on that bone like that. I mean, the whole hand just goes numb.
That's his glove hand. You had a nice conversation with Joe Maddon during the pregame show tonight, George. I saw that.
Yeah, I had a really good time visiting about our old Boulder Collegian days. He got to work at the liquor store and live at Baldy's house. I worked at the Bank of Boulder.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you have to?
And
he lived right near the field. Part of his job was to work on the field.
And I lived right in some apartments next to the field. But he lived in the owner's house.
So he was special.
And he got heavier, I told him, from Grandma's Italian meals every night. He said, you should have seen breakfast.
If they're looking at it this long, and you hope, obviously, Escobar is okay, but you got to think they'll have to X-ray it. He wants to stay in the game, but he's coming out.
Yeah, it looked like we heard the name Roberts, which.
I think hitters worry about that, George, more than anything when you get hit. I mean, you can take shots in the leg, you can take shots in, in the back, but if you get hit in the hand or wrist area with the hand on the bat,
there's just no give.
There is no give. So unfortunately, Yunel Escobar is going to have to depart. And it is Ryan Roberts. Started at second last night. Jose Molina at the plate. Oh, and 2 on Molina.
Looked like he was looking for something other than that fastball elevated in the upper part of the strike zone and away from him. He got by in a hurry.
One and 2 on Jose Molina. This is popped up right side, foul ground. Pacheco. Jordan will make the catch, 2 gone. Now that'll bring up David Price, and it'll take us to Mark Stout. Mark.
And Drew, you mentioned that David Price has pitched here at Coors Field in '09. In his first big league at bat, he got a hit off Aaron Cook. He remembers it like it was yesterday and had some family ties here to see it.
Friends here at the game that I didn't remember because I was so young when my parents were friends with them, but it was the people that I took my first steps at their house. I don't remember that, but that's the story that my parents tell, and they were at the game, so they took pictures of me pitching, took pictures of me hitting, and they made a coffee mug. I think they had 3 pictures on it, one of me standing in the box, one at first base smiling extremely big, and then a shot of the scoreboard where it said Price 1000s.
I would like to see that coffee mug. Kind of cool. He only has 2 big league hits in his career, guys.
Joe Madden's had to make several changes already due to Yunel Escobar coming out of the ballgame after being hit on the wrist. Ben Zobrist will move from second to short. You talk about a versatile guy. He's been there 5 times this year, 182 times in his career. Ryan Roberts plays second, and third will come into the ballgame and play second. So Escobar out. Zobrist goes from second to short, and Ryan Roberts in the ballgame. Rockies will have 7, 8, 9 here in the second. Nolan Arenado, Jordan Pacheco, John Garland to face David Price. While we have a moment, I want to send along our best wishes to a colleague on the print side, longtime writer for the Denver Post, Natalie Meisler, who suffered a stroke the other day and is recovering and doing quite nicely from what we've heard. We wish her all the best. This ball's driven to deep center field by Arenado. Jennings going back, still going back, and he makes the catch. Boy, the kid gave it a ride. Off the bat, you thought it may have a chance to be his second big fly.
Well, let's go ahead and try to get ahead of the youngster. We'll just throw this fastball right down the middle and get ahead, strike one. Be careful. I mean, he drove this ball 414 feet right in front of the center field fence for a long, long out.
He has been impressive so far. Rockies up 1-0, 1 out. Here's Jordan Pacheco hitting .313. On the inside corner, a strike. David Price, first pick in the first round in 2007 out of Vanderbilt. Jennings with the catch again, 2 outs. That'll bring up Garland. Braves defense brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choices that fit your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Johnson, Jennings, Matt Joyce, and now Zobrist and Roberts up the middle. Loney with Longoria at third, and Jose Molina behind the plate. Jose's second year with Tampa. Garland has a hit this year. He takes strike one. And a broken bat, soft liner to the second baseman Roberts. 1, 2, 3 in the second inning for Price. 1-0 Colorado, off to the third.
at the yard again, as Doug explained to me. I said, what kind of hat is that? He says, it's a Graham Poopah hat.
Poopah.
Yeah.
What'd you call it?
I don't know.
It's a
But I'm like, I like the hat. I mean, I got the dead fish hat yesterday. Hope to get a few more next week. I like that hat.
Why don't you ask Mark? Maybe he can negotiate a deal.
I don't think he's giving that hat up because he wore it to get on TV.
He has succeeded.
Maybe a Drew Goodman autographed signed ball and I could get the hat. Mark, where are you? Get up here.
John Garland will see the top of the Rays order here in the third. Desmond Jennings, Matt Joyce, and Ben Zobrist. Jennings on the first pitch of the game lined a single to center field. He would reach third base in the first, but John Garland able to get James Loney on a line drive to Troy Tulowitzki. Garland missed all of 2012 recovering from shoulder surgery. And this is a ground ball to Pacheco. To Garland, 1 out. Time for our AT&T trivia question. Frazier, ready?
I'm ready. Shoot it at me. Let me see what we got.
Here's what we have. How many times has a horse and a ball player won the Triple Crown in the same year?
Dougie, is this you? Mr. Marino. Well, I'm saying one time. I mean, it's out there, but I'm just going to say one. Was it a real famous horse like Secretariat? Not that famous. So I'm throwing a bunch of hints out there. So how many batting titles did this guy win with the Triple Crown? Did I stump you a little bit, Doug?
One and one on Matt Joyce. Where's that? See, that's come on now. That's got to be a strike. John Garland's not going to sit up in the middle of the plate and bring you 96,
that's
97.
Not,
he needs that. I mean, he needs that pitch for two reasons. One, because it's a strike, and two, because it's a strike.
And three, because it produces outs on the outer half of the plate to a left-hander when the ball's fading away from him.
I mean, that wasn't even borderline. 2 and 2. And you know what? That was a reach back, so you're not going to get that call, but that was pretty close too.
Like trying to throw a backdoor slider on that outer half of the plate.
See, that was right in the middle of the zone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and that's where Wallin, was thinking about it, and it just took off on him. And because of his body movement to receive the baseball, created the umpire calling it a ball.
Matt Joyce going to get 5 strikes this at bat.
He got a few last time too.
That's a shame. You know what? That's a shame right there. Joyce walks to first.
Well, you just hope it doesn't come back and hurt you because of all the where you are in their order.
Look at that. There was only one pitch that was, or excuse me, 2 pitches that were out of the strike zone. Everything else was in the strike zone. And yet Joyce is at first base, and here comes Ben Zobrist. Zobrist hit a fly ball to center field, 1-1. Catch with the hat. It wasn't the Grand Poobah hat, but
quick thinking.
Yeah, I think it was a Rockies baseball cap.
Well, if it had been a Rays, he'd have dropped it.
One-two. Ground ball to third. Tough pickup. Arenado to Tulowitzki. Safe at first. And you're saying, wait a second, to Tulowitzki? Yeah, because the way the Rockies were aligned defensively, everybody's pulled over. So it was easier for Tulo to go to the bag. George, that was not an easy pickup by Arenado.
No, because everything happened so fast. See where Tulowitzki is. You can also see where Rutledge pulled way over. So no chance for him to get to the bag. So when it's hit, Tulo breaks immediately. The backhand on a short hop by Arenado. The snap throw to second. And then Tulowitzki going on forward with the throw. Tulowitzki has to go behind the bag, push backwards towards the outfield to not allow the runner to get into it.
Two outs. Zobrist at first. Evan Longoria at the plate. Longoria line shot single to center field his first time up. He's reached in 42 of his last 43 games. Tonight's Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Home runs as a third baseman since 2008 when Evan Longoria debuted. He's hit more than anybody. Mark Reynolds next, Adrian Beltre, Aramis Ramirez, and A-Rod. Two-one, and there's another base hit. And Zobrist is going to go first to third. This was the situation in the first inning. First and third after a single by Longoria with James Loney at the plate. Loney hit a seed, but right at Troy Tulowitzki had to jump a little bit and make the catch to end the inning.
Well, and Tulowitzki just does this frequently. Came into the mound to talk to the veteran John Garland. We'll set things up defensively here, how we're going to try to play this again and see if we can get just as lucky as they did back in the first. Tulowitzki shading towards the bag. Arenado well off the bag at third. He'll tighten that up just a little bit. But Loney, one of those guys that pulls the baseball.
Auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com. John Garland averaging just 3.3 pitches per batter, which is the lowest amount in the National League. One and one. And this has been John's most productive month in his career, the month of May. He's 26 and 18 lifetime in the second month of the season. And that's down the left field line, and it's a fair ball. It's going to tie up the game. James Loney does it to the Rockies again. An RBI double. He has now driven in 53 runs in 54 games at Coors Field.
And how, out of those 53 runs, is that like 25% of his career total of RBIs? Doug, look that up for me, would you please? Trying to go away from him, just does a nice job slicing the baseball. Pretty quiet lower half, kept his hands back, kept those fairly quiet, and then just threw the bad head at it. It went to left field on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You can really see that nice lower half, kept it calm, quiet. To slice this thing down the left field line, sometimes you got to tip your hat and say they practice too.
Kelly Johnson with two in scoring position.
James Loney now with 28 base hits on the season. Of those 28, 20 hit to the left side of the infield. Drew, it's a pretty high number. 11.2% of his RBIs in his career have been at Coors Field.
That's amazing. What'd you say, 11?
11.2% of his career RBIs are at Coors Field.
He's got 500 ribbies in his career?
Four.
Really? I didn't think he had that many. George, I thought it was going to be higher. I thought it was going to be in the high teens. 2-1. Well, he had a 9 RBI ball game here a few years back.
That was like his first or second trip in here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very early part of his career. I know that.
2-1. More pitches than usual for John Garland thus far.
Well, more balls. Normally he doesn't throw this many balls. 22 thrown in 2+ innings.
54 pitches with 2 outs in the third. Congratulations to Jared Vargas, Colorado Springs. Jared texted pick 3 to us yesterday at 720-720 and was randomly drawn as our lucky winner. Look for your chance to enter, and don't forget to play pick 3 from the Colorado Lottery with daily drawings. 3-2 on Johnson in a 1-1 game, 2 in scoring position. Here's Garland, got to make a pitch, and it's fouled off.
That's a wig. I'm not counting that as a hat. But if you send me a purple wig like that, I will give it to Doug. Or Sam. Sam needs it more than Doug. Love that hat. Love that hat.
Base hit to right. That's going to score 2. Three to 1 Tampa. Kelly Johnson, who burned the Rockies late last night, burns them here on a 3-2 pitch in the third inning. 3 2-out runs for Tampa. They're up 3-1.
Pitch location, down or up?
See, not that bad a pitch, other than they wanted the ball on the inner half of the plate. Mike Shaw, Subaru Supermodel, show it to you right here. But that ball just hung right at the last second and gave him the opportunity to put some pretty good wood on the baseball on a shot to right field.
Ryan Roberts first at bat. He takes a strike. 7th man to hit here in the 3rd inning. It's 2 outs and a man at first. When Longoria singled, then Loney doubled, and then Johnson just singled. 3 runs, 5 hits for Tampa. A run on 3 hits for the Rockies.
The outfield respects the power of Roberts, that's for sure, because of what they backed up a little bit out in their outfield. The infield playing deep, looking for balls on the ground that could add a little more range to make a play. Arenado's made a nice play already in this inning.
Strike 3 on the corner. In the inning, 3 runs on 4 hits. Check it on 3 hits. And the Tampa Bay Rays have a 3-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning at Coors Field.
Here and in the outfield, Caleb is here from Longmont. What's the occasion?
It's a birthday party for my nephew who's turning 11.
All right, so we got an 11-year-old birthday party. Buffalo hat on.
What? Got to get the mustaches going here as well.
Well, what about your hat?
My hat is a Buffalo hat I actually got from Estes Park.
It's not a Grand Poobah hat like in the Flintstones.
It is not the Flintstones hat, although I get that very often.
Would you be willing to maybe negotiate to give that hat up?
For the right price, I would.
Well, how about, let's say, as this is up the middle from Eli, an autographed George Frazier baseball?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes.
Frage?
I'm in.
You're in, right? We can make that happen tonight.
I'm in.
That's a deal.
All right. I'm heading up to the booth, Caleb. You hang here. Keep rooting for the Rockies. We'll make it happen.
Drew,
All right,
I got
thank
your
you, sir.
hat. Goody, I got your hat. Yes.
I am so excited. Are we going to share that?
No, I'm keeping it.
It gets a little chillier tonight. I might wear that.
Yeah, no kidding. You forgot your beanie today.
No, I didn't think it would be necessary, but we have the
Yeah.
Grand Poobah hat.
Yeah, it's on its
from
way.
Estes Park.
It will be on shortly.
Perfect. Let's see what else your autograph can get. Nice job, Mark. Leadoff single for EY. He did that in the first inning and scored. Rutledge pushed a bunt for a base hit in the first inning.
Longoria snuck in even with the bag too. That's a, and all of a sudden he throw that cutter as he did to Josh. You'll probably got some rawhide on you in a hurry.
I was wondering if he would try it again because no one thinks you'd do it twice.
Yeah, exactly. And why not?
Looking at that Tampa outfield, they play very shallow here.
You know, last night we were thinking, all right, late in the game, trying to keep the ball out in front of you. Maybe that's why they're doing it. But here early in this game, they're in very close. George Hendricks, who's their first base coach and outfield instructor, was a guy that could really go back on the baseball well.
Rutledge with a 5-game hitting streak. 9 for his last 19 at the plate. When he came up last year, the first month, I mean, every night, it wasn't just a couple of hits, it was extra base hits, home runs. He's got 4 big flies this year. Oh and 2. Strike 3.
When Price can do that, that's when he's really dangerous. And that what I mean by that is firing that heater inner half. That's just nasty. I mean, you try to lay off of it thinking it's going to be inside, and it's not inside. A little bit of a late run and cut to it.
Cargo struck out swinging on a 3-2 pitch, a high fastball his first time. 1 out, Junior at first. Price worked him away in that first at bat. Rockies, despite the loss last night, still off to a great start at 20th and Blake. They're 9-4. The Rays have actually scuffled out on the road. They're just 5-11. Two and 0. Cargo, the only left-handed bat in the Rockies lineup tonight. Tomorrow, Todd Helton scheduled to come off. Jolie Chacin will be coming off the disabled list. Will be making the start. Be great to see Chacin back on the hill.
Well, you better believe it. The way he was throwing a baseball, an ERA under 2. By the way, Molina 2 for 18 in attempting to throw out would-be base stealers.
Two and 1. And the Rockies will see a right-handed starter tomorrow, George. It seems like a month since the last time they saw a righty on the hill.
Yeah, they will tomorrow. The Rays will run out Cobb, the right-hander, to start against them. Cobb on the year, you know, I should say career totals of 17 and 13 and earned run average under 4.
Three and 1. If you want to understand why Tampa has enjoyed the success they have over the last few years in that brutal AL East, It has everything to do with pitching. They have done a really good job developing pitching. Price was the first pick in the draft, but a guy like Jeremy Hellickson, he wasn't. Moore last night, and ball 4. So Price careful with Gonzalez, and now they're 2 on for Tulowitzki.
Just what you're mentioning, Alex Cobb, a 4th-round draft pick. 2006. It's taken a while for him to develop. Made his first appearance in 2011. Made 9 starts, went 3-2. And Moore last year, 23 starts.
And Moore last night was an 8th-round pick.
Last time up, Troy Tulowitzki got a changeup out over the plate from Price and just smoked it to right field past James Loney to drive in the Rockies' lone run of the ball game. For Tulowitzki, his 25th RBI on the season.
Jeremy Hellickson, George, was a 4th-round pick, and he was the Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago when he went 13-10 with a 2.95 ERA. And Tulo fouls that off his leg. Word on Yunel Escobar is they're taking him to the hospital to have his left hand x-rayed. Just joining us, was hit on a 1-2 pitch on the hand by John Garland an inning ago. Replaced in the lineup by Ryan Roberts. Roberts went to second, and Ben Zobrist, who was at second, moved to short, where Escobar was stationed. 2 on. Rockies trailing 3-1. 1 out. Here's Tulowitzki, 3rd in the league in RBIs. And this ball's driven to deep right center field, and it is over the head of Joyce. 1 run is scored. Cargo around 3rd. He gets a green light. Throw to the plate. Not in time. 2-run double Troy Tulowitzki. Seems like he's had a season's worth of clutch hits already in the first 30 ball games.
Well, we mentioned earlier what he has done with runners in scoring position. He had hit 375 prior to tonight's 2 base hits with men in scoring position. So that number now near the 390 range. And Tulowitzki with 2 more RBIs now, 27 on the year. A fastball, about the same location, a little bit lower than the changeup was. And he just drove it into right center. That upper body strength. EY froze for a second. Gonzalez did not. He took off. And on the play at the plate, I thought Roberts took a little bit of time trying to release the baseball at second, and that allowed easily for Gonzalez to score and to throw off line.
I don't know if Joyce would have caught that ball had he been deeper. We're talking about the shallow alignment, George. But where they're playing their outfield, he had no shot.
No shot whatsoever.
1-0 on Kadire. Chance for the Rockies to get the lead back. 3-3 game. Here's EY coming to the house, and then Cargo being waved home by Stu Cole. Boy, Tulowitzki has been unbelievable in the clutch here in the opening weeks of 2013. And now Michael Kadire again looking off in disgust. He got called out on a pitch out of the strike zone his first time up, and that is out of the strike zone. Clint Fagan not making a lot of friends tonight. And there's the last at bat, number 4, where he got called out on that, folks. That's a couple inches off the plate. And I don't like to beat up umpires, George. They do a great job in the game of baseball at this level, and it's hard calling balls and strikes. It's hard on bang plays. Understood. The one thing you don't want a young umpire, though, to get caught up in is names, like who's on the hill.
And some won't admit it, but they do it.
2-2.
Similar pitch that he struck out Josh Rutledge on, the fastball in.
Three and two, one out. Tulowitzki keeping the legs fresh, bouncing at second base. Kadire 1 for 13 lifetime against Price, who was a home run. Good job there by Kadire to spoil a borderline pitch. Michael has hit 10 of his last 11. A couple home runs, 9 ribbies during that period of time. Way inside, and Price has walked Kadire, and here comes the baby bull. Well, George, the Rockies did this last night with another top-notch pitcher in Matt Moore. They kicked him around a little bit. Unfortunately, couldn't win the ball game when opportunities presented themselves against the bullpen. You got to take advantage when you have a guy the caliber of David Price on the ropes.
You have to. And the difference between him and Moore, Price was just at 38 pitches right now. Moore was into his 60s early in the ball game, and he walked a bunch of guys. I think he had 10 3-ball counts last night. So he wasn't around the plate the way Price is around the plate right now. And all you're talking about here, how can we get out of this inning? There's one out. Let's get a ball on the ground. You got first and second. And let's get a ball on the ground. Try to get you a double play ball. What's the best pitch to go to right now? And, you know, I mean, the young umpire faking out to the mound to get him back and get the game going. The baby bull just missed a fastball in his last at bat. And we all saw what Arenado did. He took it to the wall in dead center.
Well, this is a blue chip fastball hitter, and you got a guy who's proud of his fastball on the hill in David Price. High ball one. Tried to get the cutter in on the hands. Two and 0.
Most hard throwers will throw a 4-seam fastball versus a 2-seam running or sinking fastball. So when you're that type of a pitcher, a lot of times you have more fly ball outs than you do ground ball outs.
He didn't feed him a fastball. 2-0. He went changeup. The ultimate tip of the cap to the young catcher, Willeen Rosario. Willeen, here's a contrast you don't ordinarily see. Willeen's hitting .214 at home, .417 out on the road.
Yeah, it's tough to figure out. That's one of the better hitting ballparks in baseball.
Those numbers will turn. You obviously probably won't hit .417 out on the road, but he's not going to hit in the low 200s here either. 3-1, Arenado on deck.
Price gets one ground ball out per inning, or right around 50% ground ball outs over the course of a ball game.
He came in 6th in the American League in ground ball percentage. 3-1. Slowly hit the short. Willeen's got to get up the line, and he will. Saved an at bat. Saved an opportunity for Nolan Arenado. And one of the last guys you want bearing down on you when you're trying to turn two is Michael Kadire if you're the pivot man at second.
Plays the game the right way. Comes at you very fair but very hard. Last night we watched him come into him. Today he's going to roll, put the arm up and try to get into Roberts. Ends up flipping him over the top of him.
I used to say this a great deal about Jamie Carroll when he played for the Rockies. If you are watching at home and you're a young player Inside ball one on Nolan. If you want to see how the game is played properly, every aspect of it, watch Michael Kadire. Watch his actions. Watch how he runs the bases. How hard he goes in every instance. 1-0 on Arenado. And 2-0. Nolan almost dove into that. Nolan hit a ball, George, you and I thought had a chance to go out in his first at bat to dead center field.
He did. He got a fastball up. He's being aggressive with it. That's why the 2 fastballs inside on him here, I think, by Price. Now see if he goes away as he did on Molina Rosario after going in hard twice.
And it's 3-0 with Pacheco on deck. Rockies have not only tied up the score this inning, they're starting to run the pitch count up a little bit on David Price. He's at 46, which through 3 innings is still pretty decent. Taking the whole way, it's 3-1. Tulowitzki had a 2-run double. He's driven in all 3 tonight for the Rockies. He's stationed at third. Willeen Rosario's at first.
First 2 innings he had 1 3-ball count. This inning alone he's had 4.
And this ball in the air to deep right center field. Long run for Jennings, and he's going to get there.
Twice he's robbed Nolan Arenado of extra bases and a lot of runs.
Wow. 2 great swings. Just doesn't have the results. Rockies get even. It's 3-3. We go to the 4th inning. That was really special to George Frazier. And
well, we all kind of worked at it.
Yeah, George through
what do you think?
Mark Stout has negotiated a deal for the hat.
See if you can get the Buffalo one too.
I'll work on that. I'm the middleman here tonight. So
I understand that. You're doing a good job.
Let's make it happen.
If you'd have told me to walk all the way out there to get that Buffalo hat, I'd have said nope.
All right, there we go. George with the John Hancock.
No, it's actually
I wrote George Frazier. You wanted John Hancock?
I wanted George Frazier.
Okay.
I actually wanted World Series champion.
It's coming.
I thought so.
Oh, this is a special one.
Yeah.
It's a hat, dude. We're collecting some hats. You got the dead fish hat.
Is the hat here? Oh, no, we got to go get it. That's right. Mark, nice job.
Mark, you're awesome. See you in a minute.
I'll be back.
Work on the Buffalo head, too.
Hey.
Doug wants the Buffalo head.
I'll make it happen.
All right, you're the man. You're the man.
For a Doug Marino autograph, can you get us a Heltberger?
I think that's a fair value, don't you?
Well, listen, Dougie has a growing following.
Yeah, maybe some fries with it, too.
There you go.
All right, I'll be back, guys.
All right, thank you, Mark. Jose Molina at the plate. Here's the 0-1 from John Garland. Ooh, pulls the string. Nice little breaking ball, and it's 0-2. 8-9-1 here in the 4th inning for Tampa. They won last night 7-4. George is coming your way. Not quite, didn't quite get here. If you
I was
had,
close.
If
I
you
was
had
ready.
the Buffalo hat, you'd have been able to reach out and make a catch.
Well, everything looking pretty similar here, except John Garland's pitch count up a little bit higher at 65. All the rest of the numbers very close. Price with a couple of more strikeouts.
You'd expect more strikeouts from Price. You wouldn't expect more pitches, that many more pitches from John Garland.
Well, think of the one starter he made at the doubleheader when it was, what, 18, 19 degrees. He had 62 pitches in 6 innings.
Molina stayed off the sinker. It's 2-2. Even with the win last night, the Rays all time just 3-7 at Coors Field. And now full count. Twice John Garland, an 18-game winner with the Chicago White Sox, including in 2005 when the White Sox won a world championship. Scott Pasetnik on that team. And Ozzie Guillen was the toast of Chicago. Ground ball to second. That'll bring up David Price. Our AT&T trivia question, George, how'd you do on this one? How many times?
Well, I had to write it once. It's happened. I'm saying one time.
We had a debate. Is it has or have? Have a horse and a ball player won the Triple Crown in the same year? One time. 1973, Joe Ducky Met. No. Wait. That can't be right. Joe Ducky Medwick didn't play in 73. 1937 he played. That's what we meant. 1937, Joe Ducky Medwick hit 374, 31 home runs, 154 ribbies, and War Admiral won the
there you go.
Triple Crown.
Did
All
I
right,
get,
George, here's a bonus question.
Do I get
for
half
you
right?
and you got nothing. You're getting a hat, all right? Stop begging.
I love my hats. I wasn't begging. I made a good, honest trade for that hat.
2-1 on David Price. So here's your bonus question at home, and here's your bonus question, Frosier. You ready?
Uh-huh.
How many ball players have won a Triple Crown? And you know of one recently with Cabrera winning it in the American League last year, first time in 40-plus years. How many horses have won a Triple Crown? Been
One.
a while with the horses.
One.
What are you talking about? One. There's only been one Triple Crown horse?
Well,
how many
Secretariat
horses
did it.
Yeah, we know War Admiral did it. That's two.
War Admiral did it.
Okay. How many horses and how many players?
How many horses?
2-1. 2-2. Don't look at Doug. He does That's cheating.
No, I treat him nice, so he gives me answers. 11 horses and 16 ball players.
3-2.
Is that right, Doug? I was trying to read your hand language. I was counting an awful
Your
lot.
hand
Counting his
language.
fingers.
You guys are the worst.
Can you name all 16 horses? I mean,
Well,
16 players.
It's 16 players. George through Doug is right. 16 players have won the Triple Crown, and 11 horses have won a Triple Crown, or on his way, clearly.
But here,
after winning the Derby today at Churchill Downs. Another 3-2. David Price, Mark reported to you earlier, got a hit in his first major league at bat. It was here at Coors Field against Aaron Cook. And since that time, he's 1 for 18. Doesn't get many opportunities. And he's going to be 1 for 19. 2 outs.
Desmond Jennings coming up. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level seats today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. You know, the 16 players, George, include my man Paul Hines, who won the Triple Crown back in 1878 when he led the league with 4 home runs. Jennings hits one to left center field. EY is not going to be able to catch it. And Jennings will have a 2-out double, his second hit of the ball game.
I think Hines, what do you have, like 3 or 4 home runs?
4 homers.
Wow.
Rockies fans want to win your dream home. Enter the Mile High Raffle. Do it today to have a chance to win a $3.25 million dream house or a couple $1 million in cash. And you'll be supporting the Boys and Girls Clubs along the way of Metro Denver. Visit milehighraffle.com for more information. See, that's great cotton candy. It's Rocky's purple. She's wearing purple.
She's wearing purple all over. It's going to only get worse.
She's happy, though. That's numero uno. Matt Joyce at the plate with 2 outs. Joyce, a fly ball to center field and a walk. You know, it's the walk, George, in the 3rd inning, when it looked like Garland struck him out twice looking. Would have been the 2nd out, nobody on. Rays went on to get 3 that inning. And Tulo will make the catch. So we'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Rockies and Rays tied at 3.
Center field. We met Caleb earlier. You had the Grand Poobah hat. We made the exchange. Here it is. The George Frazier autograph ball, World Series champ back in '87 with the Twins.
Hey, Mark.
That's yours. Yes, Drew.
Did you get that authenticated?
From the authenticator here, down by the dugout.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Sure. Actually, George gave it to me. So can we have the hat? All right. And we got you a Rockies hat. I got you a brand new Rockies hat. That's for you. There you go.
Wow, Mark, you're pretty good.
Now, show the Buffalo hat. This is Jaden. It's his birthday today. He's 11.
We're not,
Jaden,
we're not
birthday.
taking, Mark, stop. Happy birthday. We're not taking an 11-year-old hat. Right. Stop it.
It's a good Buffalo hat, though.
Do you think I can make a deal with Jaden?
That hat is not for sale. That has a lot of sentimental value.
Well, Jaden, I have an autographed Todd Helton.
Oh, no, he's trying to really pull it out.
If you give me your hat.
No, Mark, here's what you do. You just give that base. Mark, stop it. Hand him the Todd Helton baseball, wish him happy birthday, and get your butt out there. Let him enjoy the game.
Trying to negotiate. George.
It's his birthday.
Give him the ball.
Jaden, happy birthday from Todd Helton. All right, my man? No, we don't need it. You can keep that. So, but thanks for this.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, high fives, guys.
There you go. Happy birthday. That's awesome.
There we go.
You're better. You're 11 years old. Anything better? That's off the bag in a short left field. Pacheco hard around first, digging for second, and he'll have a double. A leadoff double for Jordan Pacheco here in the fourth. He's the go-ahead run.
Boy, you like to see it too. Last night had a couple of opportunities to drive in runs, and it comes up with a warm burner right down the line that's going to catch the back, pop over the head of Longoria and shoot into the outfield, and then a very good hustle into second base.
Here's Garland's bunt. He's going to twist foul, though. Oh, and 2. Pacheco at second, a leadoff double in a 3-3 game. Pitchers work on this all the time. They work on it during the regular season. They work on it in spring training. But it's hard to replicate a guy throwing 93, 94 with movement.
You can't. I mean, and then what you try to do is much like the hitters that you have, Drew. You try to think to yourself, who in our league is like this? Is it Clayton Kershaw? You know, what left-hander has this kind of stuff? But it's still not the same till you actually see it out of the hand of David Price.
That'll bring up Eric Young. We were talking earlier about how tough baseball is on you mentally. One of the beautiful things about the game is it keeps giving you another chance. Tough night last night at the office for EY. Tonight, 2 for 2, 2 runs scored against David Price. And both hits identical. Ground balls right back through the middle. Outfield very, very shallow. Pacheco average speed at second. 2-0. "57 pitches in for David Price, the reigning Cy Young winner in the American League.
Ey bounces one to second. Roberts will throw him out. And that'll bring up Josh Rutledge, 1 for 2.
Well, you want to get out to the ballpark early this Sunday as the first 20,000 are going to receive the Vinny Castilla bobblehead courtesy of Wells Fargo. Tickets are available. 303 Rockies, Rockies.com/bobble. Another way to get all that courtesy of Wells Fargo. The Vinny Castilla bobblehead tomorrow here at the ballpark. I asked Vinny if he got one. He said, "Oh, I got a lot."
Inside on Rutledge. The Joe Madden gnome. I think that travels with Joe. Ground ball deep short. Zobrist on the run, and the pickup at first by Loney. Good play by James Loney. Rockies leave a runner at third. We'll go to the 5th.
Is brought to you by the all-new Ford Escape, the smarter way to get there. Ford Escape, go farther. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies Club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. It's all knotted up here at Coors Field as they go to the top of the 5th inning. Both clubs with 6 hits each, 3 runs apiece. There hadn't been an error made in the ball game yet.
One strike on Ben Zobrist, thick part of the order. Zobrist, Longoria, and Loney. Check out Toyota Talk, bottom of your screen. Off his foot. George, where was your favorite field to play?
Well, you know what you're going to think. I'm going to say Yankee Stadium. You think I'm going to say Wrigley Field because of the oldness of the ballpark. But quite honestly, Busch Stadium in St. Louis, because it's the very first big league park I got to step foot on. And it was always very special to me. I love the old traditional ballparks. I mean, I really do. Not that there's nothing wrong with any of these new ones. Right back at Garland, going to make the play and flip it over to first. What's shocking to me today, speaking of fields, is Coors Field's the 3rd oldest. Come on, you kidding me?
In the National League.
Yeah, the National League, 3rd oldest one. I mean, it's like it was built yesterday, and it still looks like it was built just yesterday. Beautiful ballpark.
Drew, how do you keep score as far as color coding? And
oh boy,
what's each color?
Okay, I'll be back next couple of innings. Not just teasing.
That's not that bad.
Now wait, and I'm going to say this in defense of Drew, because a lot of guys give him a hard time because he does have 5 different pencils over there, 4, when he keeps score. But that is not unusual for someone that does the play-by-play side of a telecast. A lot of guys use different colors.
Kadire makes the catch in right, so here's really quickly. In black. See, black.
This is not going to be quick. It's too hard.
Black are outs. Red means they reach base. And I describe how. And I write the lineups in blue. I write the defense in green. I write notes in blue and black, depending on if they're this year or career notes. And I think that's all the colors I have. So what is that? 1, 2, 3,
4.
4 colors. And then I highlight. I get superstitious. You know what? If the Rockies win and I use the pink highlighter, it goes the next day.
Not really.
Otherwise,
you switch to what, yellow?
Yeah. 2 outs, Loney at the plate. He drove in a run with a double to left field in the 3rd inning. Let's get to another question. What is a can of corn? Brian in Fort Collins. Can of corn, you get it on the store, and you know, they just shave the kernels off the corn.
Put it in a metal can and you got it?
Yeah.
Wow, tough play. Just the 9th hit for Loney to the right side.
A can of corn, I don't know, I forget. The can of corn, it used to be like it was easy to reach up and make the grab a can of corn, and so a high fly ball that's easy for an outfielder, you know, routine play. Oh, that's right. Doug's explaining it to me now. I forget, because every 3 years we get this question. The guy at the store would knock it off the shelf and then kind of pull his apron out and catch it in the apron.
Sit down.
So a can of corn is a high fly ball that's easy to catch. I want to say this. If James Loney played all his games at Coors Field, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Be pretty close, wouldn't he? Something about the batter's eye, maybe the way the pitch too, a lot of different things that go into it, but he obviously does pretty good with it.
Kelly Johnson at the plate. He was 3 for 17 when he came up in the 3rd inning with 2 in scoring position against John Garland. He battled and then lined a single to right to drive into. Are the Molina brothers, Jose and Yadi, are the Molina's brothers? Well, there's 3 of them, Daniel. There's Benji, who retired. Tremendous big league catcher for a number of years. Won a world championship with. Was he still with San Francisco a couple years ago? Was that his last year?
Was it there or St. Louis?
Well, Yadier was in St. Louis for years.
I thought they had 2 Molinas there.
Yadier's the youngest. Benji's the oldest. Jose's in the middle.
How many Molinas have been in a World Series? How many have they won for the family?
Well, Yadier's won.
Right. Call the balk. There was a movement by Garland as he took off. No, time was called at home plate.
Yeah.
A little gesturing going on with Garland and James Loney. They're kind of giggling at each other a little bit. Comes set.
And then time was called at home.
And Garland's pointing at first, going back to first. There was time called. Escalona is warming up down in the Rockies bullpen right now.
It's 92 pitches for John Garland. 1-2 on Johnson. And he got him. Good pitch by John. So Garland strikes out Johnson with Loney at first. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Rockies and Rays tied up at 3.
is tomorrow. Stick around for Rockies Weekly. We'll recap the best of the week, provide an exclusive interview as well with the coaching staff. Don't miss Rockies Weekly. That's tomorrow, right after the game. 3, 4, and 5 for the Rockies against David Price in the 5th. Cargo, Tulo, Kadire in a 3-3 ball game. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout, and look what we have here.
Got me a hat. You ready?
Yeah, it may not be a Grand Poobah hat, but it is grand.
It is grand, soft too.
Come on, Frazier, look. Oh. What do you think, Drew?
I think that
You're
works.
speechless.
I think that works.
That's a thing of beauty right there. I like this.
Yeah.
This is perfect. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think you ought to wear that.
We need a few more hats in here, though. You did good on this one.
Take this thing on.
You did good on this one. I'll fix that, Goody.
I'm thinking the hats are going to come, George.
I hope they do. I've gotten 4 or 5 so far.
Right. It's a good
None
start.
that Drew will wear yet. He liked the moose hat, but I wouldn't let him have that.
I'll wear that one.
I wouldn't let you have the moose hat.
I like the one
That
you
was
got
kind of
last
my
night.
favorite. You like the dead fish hat, too.
That ski hat.
Kathy McKay from Walden, Colorado sent that. Where'd you say this guy was from? What was his name?
Longmont. Caleb from Longmont.
Caleb from Longmont. Caleb, thank you. Really appreciate it. You don't like it, huh?
I like it. Why do you keep saying I don't
You want me
like
to put it on your head? You want to try it?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, go ahead.
Headbutting you. Let's watch Cargo hit first. 1-1.
Might have a home run right here.
This ball driven deep center field. Way back and gone. It must be the Buffalo hat.
How about that? Let's watch Cargo. He might hit a home run. Really? Well, he did.
We can't ever take it off. 4-3 Colorado. 6th big fly for Cargo. And it went swimming.
And it went swimming. It went to get a drink of water. Oh, high heater. Remember, he went away from him early in this ball game to try to get the ball by him. This time, it does not get by him. On the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, it is a deep fly, dead center field for Carlos Gonzalez. As Drew mentioned, his 6th of the year. Tulowitzki's been the man of the hour in this ball game. He's driven in 3 runs in the ball game with 2 base hits, a single and a double. Drew, I like the hat. I like the hat. I don't think Joe Madden
too, but I'm having trouble hearing you.
Huh? You are?
I'm having trouble. What did you say?
Look at the camera. You look cute.
Thank you. It's been a while since you called me cute.
Ah, what a wonderful thing. Have a little fun at the yard. Why not another home run? Am I calling too much now? He's going to catch Tulowitzki. Tried to spin out of the way.
Yeah, that was a cutter.
0-1 count.
They haven't been able to get him out. 3 ribbies for Tulo, single and a double. Price with nobody out here in the 5th inning, trailing 4-3. Troy at first, and here comes Cuddy.
One more to look at the home run pitch and its location. Away. And they wanted it down, just a little bit elevated. And Gonzalez jumped on it. All the crowd out there in the rock pile. Brought it to its feet. As the Rockies went on top of this ball game, 4-3. Are you going to wear the hat the rest of the inning?
Kidding me? It's a good luck charm. I just have to do it like this because otherwise
it falls off. Yeah, they won't stay on there.
It doesn't work over the top.
No. Well, it fits his ears, not yours.
Kadire walked his last time up. Zobrist to Roberts, and they'll get 1. And that'll bring up Willeen. Well, we thank you for texting in your questions last inning. For more answers, Visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/Root Sports Rocky Mountain. Tracy Ringlesby is always standing by for a bonus Toyota talk question. We needed this hat, George, during the last homestand.
Yeah, when the snowstorms were here.
Willeen 0 for 2. That's in there. Ball game playing out in a familiar pattern or a similar pattern to last night. Ground ball to Zobrist. And they'll turn over the double play this time, despite Kadire getting in to Ryan Roberts. But in the inning, the Rockies take a 4-3 lead. Carlos Gonzalez, for the 6th time, leads the yard. One of the prettiest swings in the game. Let's take a look at our Cooney Lexus look back. In the first inning, the Rockies would get after David Price. Eric Young, who had singled, would come around on that base hit by Troy Tulowitzki. In the third inning, this soft double to left would score a run off the bat of James Loney, and then it's Kelly Johnson ripping a line drive to right. 2 more runs would come around. Tampa had a 3-1 lead at that point. Rockies would counter. It was Tulowitzki again. 2-run double. Eric Young, after another base hit, comes around. Cargo followed him, and then Carlos Gonzalez with the launch. About 4:30 to straightaway center field. Rockies up 4-3. John Garland hands the baseball off to Edgmer Escalona.
Part of that successful Rockies bullpen until last night when it faltered for the first time in a long time.
Well, this will be a good contrast, George, because, you know, Garland's 85, 87 now with his fastball, and he's going to sink it, kind of keep you off balance that way. Escalona comes after you with a mid-90s fastball.
Well, it's 94, that last one, and it's a low 3/4 angle, too. Big body coming at you.
Ryan Roberts with a 2-strike count here in the 6th. And again, it's a fastball, this one at 96. Well, the bullpen has been stupendous. Last night, when Matt Belisle ended up giving up the runs in the 10th inning. Up till that point, 34 2/3 straight without giving up an earned run. Last night was more a story of missed opportunities offensively. Rockies were 0 for 9 last night with runners in scoring position. Of course, the one that stands out, the bases loaded situation with 1 out in the 8th inning. But as you have to do in this game, you push delete and you move on. 1 and 2. Popped up, foul ground, and no play for Willeen Rosario. Brian Jordan make the catch?
I don't think he made the catch. He was worried about having to catch Willeen Rosario, who he was thinking about he was going to have to catch.
Stu Cole looking at him as if, come on, Brian, make a play. Brian Jordan, the Rockies strength coach. Rockies trying to snap. This is unbelievable because the Rockies from 2006 until last year had been the top National League team along with the Mets against the American League. But last year, tough year as we know, in virtually every area. Went 2-13 against the American League. They were 0-9 at Coors Field. And now at the loss last night, going all the way back to 2011, they've lost 11 consecutive games against American League clubs here at Coors Field. Their last win against an American League club here at Coors came on July the 2nd, 2011, when Colorado beat the Kansas City Royals. And during this 11-game stretch, they've given up an average of almost 9 runs a game. Jose Molina with 1 out. We had a question earlier during our Toyota Talk inning about the Molina brothers. Here's Arenado, and this is a tough chance even with Molina running, and he got it. Thankfully, Molina was running. Arenado throws out Jose Molina.
A very good play by Nolan Arenado. You're back with two strikes on a hitter, and then to come in barehand this baseball, a bad hop on the baseball. On top of that, that ball jumped almost into foul territory on Arenado. Off balance, strong throw on the money on the stretch from Pacheco. Yes.
And now you have a chance. If you get David Price here, you get to the dugout without dealing with the top of the lineup. 1-0 on Price. We had a question on the Molina brothers during the Toyota Talk inning. And one of the things that we started discussing was World Series appearances, or championships actually, for the Molinas. Benji won one in 2002 with the Angels. Jose was on that Angel team also. And then Jose was with the Yankees in 2009. Yadier has been on both recent Cardinal teams that won it in 06 and 2011. Nice job, Edgemer, Escalona. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Rockies up 4-3. our sideline report, brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood. Mark?
Drew, George, last night after the game, I was talking to Nolan Arenado, his first game here to Coors Field, and I asked him about playing third with this manicured infield.
Oh, man, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just, you can stay down, you can move your feet, and you don't have to worry about a hop or anything. So it's really nice being up here.
So tip of the cap to Raz and his crew. And George, you know that is so helpful when you get to this level as an infielder and a pitcher.
Well, there's no question, Mark. It really is, to be able to allow those guys to be able to utilize their experience, utilize their ability to move left, right on this grass and be able to make plays. And obviously that last play by Arenado up the line, what a tremendous play it was. That ball was going to bounce into foul territory on him, and able to barehand, even though Molina doesn't run that well, still an exceptional play and an out. And I know that Escalona and his teammates truly appreciated it. I don't know that you can hit two balls any harder than Nolan has hit in the second and in the third inning. One to the wall in dead center field, one in front of the bullpen of the Rays in right center field. Second inning, he got one. Fastball up, fired early, and it goes all the way to center field. Jennings, a great catch right in front of the wall. Then in the third inning, one into right center field. I don't know how either one of these balls stayed in the park. They did, and Jennings made a catch on both of those. Nolan disappointed, obviously, as should be.
Yeah, this is sharply hit, but it's right at Longoria. That kid can swing it, though, George. There's no question about that. He can swing it and he can pick it. George Pacheco coming up.
First 20,000 adults 21 and over next Tuesday. You're going to receive a Rockies adult baseball cap courtesy of Coors Light. Tickets still available for those, all of those at the Yankees games, but are going fast. So pick up your phone right now. 303 Rockies. Get your tickets for that Rockies series. Don't forget about the hat given away by Coors Light. That comes on Tuesday. You got to be over 21 to get that. For 303 Rockies, Rockies.com, and order tickets for the Yankee series.
Jordan doubled his last time up. Pitch count at 73 for David Price. That has not been an issue for him. And slowly hit to short. Zobrist. What a versatile player, man. How many guys are in the game that can play right, left, short, second?
Not many, if any, but him.
Well, stay connected this season by following Root Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We want to hear from you as the Rockies continue the 2013 campaign. Get online and tell us which game has been your favorite thus far. First at bat for Escalona. Again, Escalona, Outman, and Ottavino. We saw Ottavino last night. They're the middle guys who are going to work multiple innings. And this is on the ground to Longoria. So a 1-2-3, sixth inning for David Price. Rockies ahead 4-3. We move to the seventh. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Pretty night downtown Denver Saturday night. And Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, and that young man is prepared. He's got his sombrero out. Downtown will be hopping this evening. Edgemere Escalona, second inning of work. 1, 2, 3, 6. They'll have Desmond Jennings, Matt Joyce, Ben Zobrist. The top of the Rays order here in the 7th. Hits are even at 7. The runs are not. Rockies up 4-3 on Carlos Gonzalez home run. Jennings swings and misses. Jennings will punch out a little bit more than you'd like in the leadoff role. He's struck out 18 times in his last 12 games. He's got an on-base percentage of just .294. And he got him. Escalona blows away Desmond Jennings, 1 out, and that'll bring up Matt Joyce.
Constantly work that outside of the plate and down. You're going to have a lot of success, particularly mixed with the velocity at 94 miles an hour off the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl. You're going to pick it up. Late run off of the plate totally fooled Jennings, and you get the strikeout.
And a ground ball to Arenado. You know, George, it's not just the accuracy of the arm and the range, it really soft hands.
Well, what he does, he's got so much range that it allows him to utilize his hands easily. And he's a big guy. I mean, he's 6'3", 230. And he's still yet very agile, has the ability to move side to side on the range. You know, a lot of guys will have glove side range, other guys arm side. He has it both ways.
2 out, Zobrist at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Three O's in there, 3-1. And ball 4. So Escalona ends up walking Zobrist, and now you have to deal with Longoria. Josh Outman's throwing.
Yeah, the main reason he ends up throwing it, obviously James Loney lingers behind Longoria, so base hit here. You got to have that. You got to look at making that move left on left.
Slider for a strike on Longoria. 2 singles and 3 trips tonight. Both line drives to center field.
A balk was called on Longoria, excuse me, on Escalona. That's huge. Now you're talking about a base hit tying up the game.
Yeah, and what it is, you know, the 2-out walk, okay, that's a mistake. But then this right here, watch, you're going to see the flinch. Rosario starts to give him a little bit of signs here, looks into the dugout. He looks back. But it's right here where you start to see the beginning of this. See, lean forward, tilt back, and then right there, it's a balk. Real quick, Jimmy Wright's going out to calm him down because you're in a position in a 1-1 count. You're the guy we want out on the mound right now. So get your thoughts straightened out and go right at this guy and get out of here and get out of this inning.
His stuff, George, could be as nasty as anybody the Rockies have down in that bullpen.
It has a chance to be. Right now, Longoria, 409 average with runners in scoring position, and I would agree when it's down in the zone, it is tough to hit.
It's not only the mid-90s, but it's got sink to it.
It's got some movement. Let's watch this young man start a little bit and then move into the bullpen area.
And that was a beautiful pitch, well located, 1-2.
Thinking he's working away. They actually wanted the pitch away. And Rosario, nice job of receiving the ball to get the call.
He froze it in the zone. Good job. And now Tulowitzki wants to say something to Escalona.
Well, I think he picked up on something here that either they were looking to see the signs or not. So now you just go no signs. Veteran guy out at second, veteran guy at the plate. Tampa Bay 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. The Rockies could have blown this thing out 2 for 10.
Two and two. Where's that?
Well, you can't make a better pitch than that. Oh, the mackerel. Fitz, I mean, I know you got a great hitter at the plate. Obviously, he could not take a hack at this thing, although he really wanted to go at it. That's unbelievable.
Just
a little bit off.
Missed.
Yep, it does. I mean, it's off the plate a couple of inches. How'd he take it?
You throw him a slider here, George?
He's the one guy I'm not going to let beat me. I can tell you that. If you throw a slider, get it off the plate.
That's what he went. Back up slider, caught the inside corner, and Evan Longoria's gone. Big punch out there for Edgemer Escalona. Stretch time at Coors Field. The Rockies 4 and Tampa Bay 3. Time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Well, this was the hat exchange earlier. A George Frazier autographed baseball. And Mark Stout's literally stealing this poor man's hat off his head. Mark Stout, traveling salesman. And then the Todd Helton ball to that young man. It's his 11th birthday.
Yeah, how about that? Happy birthday. And then I had my hat.
And then shortly after, Cargo hit the ball out.
Yeah, I said, put the hat on. You never know. He might get a home run. Boom.
That's brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And the Rockies would like to add on. Ewy's had a nice night. A couple of hits and 3 at-bats. 2 runs scored. Dexter Fowler feeling much better today. Again, another update on Dex with the hip flexor suffered last night. Todd Helton scheduled to come off the disabled list tomorrow. Make sure you join us for the pregame show. We'll tell you about the corresponding moves. Of course, Chacin will pitch tomorrow, so there'll be a move to get him active as well, a roster move. And this is smoked to short, and Zobrist hangs in there, low throw, and it's handled again by James Loney with Eric Young flying up the line. 1 out. Also an update on Yunel Escobar, who was hit early in the game on the hand by John Garland, taken to a local hospital for x-rays. Unfortunately, the x-rays were negative, so naturally Yunel is now, George, day to day.
Day to day. It's a famous thing in sports, day to day.
And our friend Keith Olbermann had the best line on that. Day to day, aren't we all?
I think he stole it.
And that's in there also. It's a 2-strike count on Rutledge. A bunt single back in the first. Josh now at the 6-game hitting streak. Yeah, I still can't believe how shallow the outfield.
You're not scared of it, are you?
Tampa.
No, you're not kidding.
1 and 2.
Where is that bird at? Where's he located? Right behind the mound?
Yeah. Good friends with David Price.
Buddy.
I'm laughing. You got a footnote. You got to give credit where credit's due.
Yes. Jim Armentrout.
Yep, Jim Armentrout, our director, said he is scouting for the Orioles. That's a good line. Somebody better follow him after the game.
Unfortunately, I was the guy playing catch with Dave Winfield in Toronto when he hit the pigeon. That was nuts.
That became a national story.
Yeah,
the Audubon Society got after Mr. Winfield.
We waited for about an hour and a half in the locker room while he went down to the local establishment to bail himself out, put up bond, and then came back and he donated. If I'm not mistaken, Dave donated $20,000 to the Audubon Society of Canada.
Cargo, a strikeout, a walk and a run scored, and a home run to center field to give the Rockies the lead they enjoy right now, 4-3.
But he'd gotten him out with fastballs away earlier in the ballgame with a strikeout in the first. He walked him in the third, threw this fastball away from him, and it went for a bat.
Cargo rolls one up the middle, and that's a base hit. Last night, 1 for 5, 2 for 3 in that walk tonight. And here comes Tulo. Price is yet to retire Troy. RBI single, 2-run double in the third, and he hit him with a pitch in the 5th inning.
If you're heading out onto the road, subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies out-of-market game online and on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at home. Rockies.com to find out more information and sign up. I mean, honestly, the bird, you got to be thinking to yourself, right? You're sitting right there looking up and going, where did all the people come from? All right. And why? And I ain't moving because the ball hadn't hit me yet, so I'm staying right here. All right. I'm not flying off. I'm not going to take off or nothing. I'm sitting right here.
He's not bothered by all the activity. That's out of play.
No, not at all.
Pretty bird. Six home runs, 27 driven in for Troy. Longoria, and he stays with it, not caught by Loney, goes up the right field line. Cargo to third, and he's going to come about a third of the way down and put on the brakes. Tulowitzki to second. Longoria made the good stop on the hard hit ball, and then his throw was not handled by James Loney.
Loney's throw, it looked as if it pulled up to the outfield side. I mean, as he scuffled to get to this baseball, you look how far the ball pulled Loney to the outfield side of things. So I think the error, if given one, is more on Longoria than on anything else.
He tried to stay anchored, you're right. It'll be an error on Longoria. For Longoria, just his second error, two-time Gold Glove award winner. See if the Rockies can take advantage. Kadire 0 for 2 and a walk. And Jose Molina gets in his squat. David Price will look in for the side. 2 outs. Rockies up 4-3 in the 7th. 2 big ribbies out there if Michael can drive them in. Dyer hitting .320 this year with runners on base. Now the Birds now watching the outfield play. No longer interested in the confrontation at the plate.
He's got his eyes closed. It's got to be what? A little nervous. He's a Rays fan. Didn't want to see what's going to happen next.
Quick change in the scoring to pass along to you. They're going to give Tulowitzki a hit and charge Longoria an error, allowing the runners to move up 90 feet. So another hit for Tulowitzki is third. 2-1 on Kadire.
You can take a look at this and see that Price has done so far. Had a little rough third inning, obviously. The Rockies threw a couple of runs up on him, and since then been very efficient. Only 18 here in the 7th. 94 in the ball game. Their bullpen's starting to get busy.
Fisted down the line, fortunately foul. Dyer will have to get a new bat.
Gomes came in the ball game last night, finished up an inning for the Rays, and looking to do the same here with a couple of outs. A heavy sinker baller. You got Wallin in the on-deck circle.
Slowly hit the short, and Zobrist had trouble getting it out of his glove. Safe at first, and the Rockies get a run. What did we say about Michael Kadire? We said it so many times since he arrived from Minnesota. He is going to go hard every single play. Zobrist, who's played against him, knows it. Had trouble getting the ball out of the glove. Low throw. Rockies get an insurance run.
And you take it any way you can. He rounded the ball perfectly. You see that Gonzalez comes in. Second error of the season on Zobrist. He came in and got it out of the glove, got on top, tried to get after it. Instead, he spiked it to the ground. And James Loney, you'll see it here on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, as he goes down to get this baseball. It pops out, but the hustle's there.
An error on Zobrist. And the Rockies have a 5-3 lead, and Rosario's at the plate. 2 errors in the inning for a team that has played outstanding defense all year. Only 10 errors coming into the ball game. One of the top fielding teams in baseball in the first month and change of the season. Only Detroit and Baltimore in the American League with a better fielding percentage coming in. 1 strike to count on Rosario. 0 for 3. .96 the pitch count. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 spots next inning for Tampa.
Well, Joe Madden trying to make those decisions, the right decisions in this ball game, and he feels right now the one he needs to be is David Price on the hill facing Wallin Rosario. Game time temperature 55. It's now 46 in the ballpark.
Outside, good eye by Wallin. 3 balls and a strike. Five runs, 9 hits for the Rockies. 3 runs, 7 hits, and a couple of errors now on the Rays. Rockies trying to end an 11-game home losing streak against the American League. We're at the bottom of the 7th. 1st and 3rd. And now the bases are loaded for Arenado.
And a very stressful inning for David Price.
Arenado tonight has hit the ball extremely hard 3 times, and as is the case some nights in this beautiful game, he's got nothing to show for it. 2 long drives to deep center field, one to the center field wall, one to the right center field wall.
And a hard shot to Longoria at third. Time to have one fall. Off the plate, ball one. And Jose Molina will go out to the mound to visit with David Price. Or he missed fire a little bit. Now he didn't get a borderline pitch he was getting frequently earlier in the game.
Well, buy a green pack, 2 tickets for $25 with $5 going towards planting trees. Available for tomorrow's game as well as May 19th and the 21st. Rockies.com/green. The Rockies, with the bases loaded this year, have hit .276. Arenado, first time in his career to hit with the bases loaded.
Rockies have Tulowitzki at third. He had an infield hit. Kadires at second. He reached on an error. And Willeen Rosario just walked. Cargo tonight, George, has scored 3 runs. 5-3 Rockies. This ball driven high and deep left center field. Way back and gone. Grand slam, Nolan Arenado. What a week. You ain't robbing me this time.
Yeah, how about the 0 for 3? Forget about that. Well, you better believe it. Yeah, he is fired up, as he should be.
How about that? I mean, how about that?
One swing, 4 RBIs, and a game out of hand now because of that swing by Nolan Arenado.
First time up with the bases loaded. And he gets the grand tour. He's now hit the ball, George, about 1,300 feet tonight.
Yeah, but this one here that traveled just enough. Those other 2 great catches both times by Jennings. Jennings not going to catch that one.
9-3 Rockies. First slam of the year for Colorado, their 81st in team history. And hopefully he can get that baseball as well. And it came off a Cy Young Award winner to boot. Here's Jordan Pacheco against Brandon Gomes. Swings over the top of a slider. Here's that look again at Nolan Arenado's sweet swing.
You know, I don't even know when Tulowitzki came up his first 5 or 6 games, he struggled. This kid is tattooed to baseball. I mean, he has not mishit a ball yet.
George, he's been robbed at least 5 times.
Think of the diving catch in L.A. where they dove in center field, was robbing there. He had 2 balls hit to the wall here. You know, there's been a lot of balls. The ball down the left field or third base line, backhanded, threw him out.
Nick Punto robbed him on a base hit, what would have been a base hit up the middle in L.A.
Well, the other impressive thing about this,
Hanley Ramirez robbed him.
5-run inning is the fact that all came with 2 outs. I know they committed 2 errors to help the inning continue, but the cool part about it is the Rockies capitalized on their mistakes and put the hammer on it.
Absolutely.
With 2 outs.
Make you pay. In the final line on David Price, 6 2/3, 9 runs, only 4 of which were earned. But that doesn't matter. 10 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Helps his ERA, doesn't help soothe his ego right now. 2-2 on Pacheco. And it's 3-2. Ryan Wheeler's come out on deck to hit for Escalona.
Now the home run overshadows the job done by Escalona too.
John Garland is pitcher record on the plus side because he was in the game still when Cargo went deep to give the Rockies the 4-3 lead. What a first week in the big leagues for Arenado. Right field. Matt Joyce will make the catch. Tampa Bay will finally get to their dugout. The Rockies score 5 times. I need not tell you what the highlight was. Take a look again. Nolan Arenado's grand slam, and the Rockies are up 9-3 as we go to the 8th. Nolan Arenado. A week he will never forget. Heck, Rocky fans will never forget this week either. A debut of a potential star in the making. Johnny Herrera is going to get Troy Tulowitzki off his feet the final couple innings. Johnny in at shortstop. Wilton Lopez
is on the hill. And this is James Loney. And as George mentioned, 2 good innings from Escalona again.
2 very good innings by him. Now Lopez come on and try to work that sinker, get through this inning. This team's not going to lay down on him.
And this, George, a good opportunity. Lopez, low stress now, the 6-run lead.
Just those strikes, keep the ball down, try to have some really quick innings. That's what you were known for in Houston, was keeping the ball down, ground ball outs.
Softly hit, and it's going to drop for Loney. And that's his, I just laughed, man. He just can't get him out here. That's his 3rd hit of the night.
Yeah, hitting 360 coming in. He's at 380 now.
Cesar Ramos, the only pitcher not to throw last night for Tampa out of their bullpen, is up.
Another dirtbag out of Long Beach State. Left-hander, was drafted in the 1st round, was traded to Tampa. Saw his first big league action, came with the San Diego Padres.
Three and 0. On the inside corner, 3-2. Eric Young in center field. What's next is brought to you by CenturyLink. The pitching matchup tomorrow, right-hander Alex Cobb with a 3-2 record and a very fine 2.55 ERA. And the Rockies welcome back Jhoulys Chacín, 3-0 so far with a 1.46 ERA in the league's hitting just 1.93. Chacín missed the last 2 starts with, fortunately, a minor back strain. And he is fine and raring to go tomorrow. 1 out, ground ball to 3rd. See if the Rockies can twist one here. They will. 5-4-3 on the turn. Arenado started it. Good inning for Lopez. We move on to the bottom of the 8th. Colorado in charge, 9-3.
Time to take a look at our McDonald's highlights, brought to you by the McDonald's new Premium McWrap. I'm loving it. All the runs for the Rockies. The first inning, Troy Tulowitzki, a bullet to right, scored Eric Young, who had singled. In the third inning, there's that man again, Troy Tulowitzki. This time a 2-run double. EY and Cargo come in. In the fifth inning, Carlos Gonzalez tried to go away with a fastball. Cargo said, not this time. Over the center field wall. That gave the Rockies a 4-3 advantage. Then the seventh inning, they blew it open. Kadire hustling up the line as he always does. Forced the errant throw by Zobrist. Rockies got a fifth run. Cargo scoring again. And then Arenado. Bases loaded. And he got the breaking ball and he ripped it. 425 feet for his first career grand slam. Second home run of the season already for Arenado. He may be day-to-day with bruises on his body, George.
Well, I tell you, he was pretty fired up. He wanted to give high five to anybody and anywhere around him. Don't blame him.
Johnny Herrera's first at bat. He's batting ninth in the double switch. Cesar Ramos is on the hill, and his first pitch is in there for a strike.
Came over from San Diego in the Jason Bartlett trade. Bartlett went over there, and he's been in 10 ball games, 7.11 ERA. Been beat up a little bit a couple of times. He's pitched the last couple of years for Tampa between the big leagues and AAA Durham.
Ground ball to second. Ryan Roberts will throw out Johnny. That'll bring up EY. Who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. And when the Rockies score 7, as they've done tonight, Taco Bell, along with Root Sports, will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Make sure you get to Taco Bell tomorrow afternoon between 4 and 6. Junior 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. And make it 3 for 5.
See all those line drives he hit last week that were caught at the wall? It evens out.
Junior's got the average back over 300. And that'll bring up Josh Rutledge. 1 for 4 tonight. If you have auto glass damage, call Safelight Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Ground ball to third. Longoria. Tell you what, Evan Longoria did as well as you could trying to start that double play. The way he charged it like a shortstop, which he was at junior college.
Charges it hard. He's going to get rid of it very quickly, and a perfect strike over to Roberts. It's just the hustle of Rutledge up the line that doesn't allow it to be completed.
That will allow Cargo to hit here in the bottom of the 8th. Strikeout, walk and a run scored, home run, and a single and a run scored. Cargo's got the average to 321. Reintroduce ourselves, George, to number 17 tomorrow. He's back.
Looking forward to it. I really am. I think he is too. I mean, he's been out working very hard in the cages to get his swing back and keep his timing there.
Cargo drops this one on target. And
It's caught right at the wall by Desmond Jennings. Boy, off the bat, I didn't think there was any way. That's a couple times tonight. It's called a loud out. 9-3 Rockies as we go to the ninth. I think he thought he got it.
I thought he got it.
Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by the Colorado Lottery, don't forget to play. The Rockies have been most entertaining tonight in front of 29,099. They're enjoying a 9-3 lead. As we've arrived at the ninth inning, there'll be plenty to talk about, Joel Platt, on the Toyota postgame show, I'm sure.
Yes, there will. There'll be plenty. And in honor of the Kentucky Derby today, we'll talk about the couple of balls sent into Orb. You like that? Orb, of course, winning the Kentucky Derby. Cargo, Arenado, they go deep. Plus, Troy Tulowitzki has been very Troy Bien. That's in honor of tomorrow when we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, both on the Rockies pregame report and all day here on the broadcast. Troy Bien, Drew, of course, is Troy Good in Espanol.
Thanks, Joel. Joel brushing up on his Spanish prior to the post-game show tonight. We'll have Joel and the gang.
Oh, is he going to do it in Spanish tonight?
Well,
kind of.
He's going to do it with Spanish subtitles.
Line shot right back at you. You know, it's you're about 53 feet away when that ball's hit like that. Stuck the glove out, made the play. There's one out in the ninth.
Sam Fold will be the pinch hitter here in the pitcher spot.
Well, there's Mr. Arenado. Spent a lot of time with him Tulsa last year. There's Mrs. Arenado right behind him. Both spent a lot of time in Tulsa watching their son. He has such a huge, huge following there from California, and rightfully so. His little brother is a pretty good player. His little brother, an in-corner infielder too, that's got some power. More than likely going to get drafted in the June draft.
They're going to have to keep following Nolan wherever the Rockies go.
They will. Great support group.
And that's a base hit for Fold. What are you seeing from Lopez, George?
Elevated ball. I mean, his main bread and butter, eggs and bacon, we'll call it whatever you want to, is that hard sinker down and away. I mean, that is the number one play for him. And you can see this ball's elevated about thigh high. And for a left-handed hitter, when you get a ball that elevated up, when it's normally sinking down and away. See, that's good sinker. If you get him to bite on that, you're going to get the ball rolled over and get a good ground ball.
This is Luke Scott hitting for Jennings.
A lot of times managers in a blowout game like this will get a guy in at bat that he plans on using tomorrow in the ball game on a Sunday afternoon.
Pitch, 1-2. Two and two on Luke Scott from the Baltimore Oriole. 1 out in the 9th inning. Rockies up 9-3. Sam Fuld at first base. I'm a little surprised, George. Why would Fuld take second? Rockies playing behind him.
Yeah, not sure. That's a good question. Why wouldn't he?
Maybe it's Joe Madden's way of showing a little etiquette, saying, well,
yeah,
you know what, if we're going to pull off some sort of miracle here, it's going to have to be with the bats.
Respect for the game, the opponent. He talked an awful lot about that today, what he was taught playing for the Boulder Collegians, the guys that we played with there, all those different things. How much he has learned to be a lot like these players. Listen to their music, dress like them.
He's a Renaissance kind of guy. I mean, he's a well-read guy. He's a wine connoisseur. He has eclectic interests. Fun to be around. It's a high fly ball down the right field line. It's going to be foul. And he went on and on. I know he did with you also, George, about his time in Boulder. He loved the city of Boulder.
Well, to tell you how much he loved the city of Boulder 2 years ago, I think it's 2 or 3, is like he and his wife landed on an airplane here in 2009. He drove straight to Skyline Liquor in Boulder, Colorado. We went back to the office that he coached under Baldy for the Collegians after he played for him. And went back there in 1980, walked back to that office that he and Baldy spent so many nights ordering a pizza and grabbing a beverage out of the closet of the liquor store and sitting and talking baseball till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And they proposed to her right there in front of Baldy's office. True story. Right? True story. And he talked about that today also.
Well, walk to Scott. 2 men on with 1 out. Matt Joyce coming up. Let's give you the scores from around baseball. Bottom of the 8th inning, Padres losing to the Diamondbacks at Petco 8-1. Arizona got 6 in the 2nd inning in that ball game. Dodgers have come back on the Giants. They're up 8-6. They got 7 in the 5th inning. They were down 6-1. It's now 8-6 LA.
Crazy. San Francisco jumped out 3-0 at the beginning of that ball game in the 1st inning.
By the way, Hanley Ramirez pulled his hamstring yesterday, placed on the disabled list today. D. Gordon was brought up. He's in the air to right. Long run for Kadire. He'll get there. Two outs. Ben Zobrist will come up. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Reds beat the Cubs today 6-4. Soriano a couple of home runs in the loss. Chapman got his 7th save for the Reds. Cardinals over the Brewers in Milwaukee 7-6. Nationals beat the Pirates 5-4.
be appropriate if he throws out the final hitter of the game. He does, and the Rockies win it 9-3. John Garland gets the win. He's 3-2. He beats David Price. Price falls to 1-3. And the Rockies scored 9 times against David Price. And they've won their first game and against an American League opponent at Coors Field since July 2nd of 2011. They had lost 11 straight. Smiles, high fives all around. A good night at 20th and Blake. Rockies improved to 18-12. Tonight's Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. It was 5-3. Arenado with the bases loaded for the first time in his career.